My name is Gary Butterfield, he, him.
My name is Kaye Ross, she, her.
And you are listening to Watch Out for Fireball's Dispatch, monthly Q&A topics listener response episode.
Yeah, and then announcing what we're going to be covering in September, right at the end of it.
Yeah, we'll be gone till September. Just kidding.
Nope.
We'll be here until September.
We never leave.
Yeah, and we will wake you up when it ends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be May.
You will remember
10 months.
The 21st specifically.
Yeah. Yes. Remember the 21st of September. It's also, anniversary of the show.
Oh yeah, shit, you're right. Yeah.
Well, what a blessing that is that we released on my birthday.
I know, right?
It makes it very easy to remember.
Mm-hmm. Easy to celebrate. I don't have to get you 2 gifts.
No, exactly. You don't have to give me 1 gift. Just don't kick me in the dick.
Okay.
For once,
it's very expensive. The plane ticket.
Yeah. It is kind of a gift to our economy. Before we get into it, since we don't have abject suffering for a while, can I tell you a funny thing?
Sure.
That is digressionary. Yesterday, I was watching YouTube. And YouTube, because of my predilection for scams and flams and shit, served me a thing where it was about cheating scandals in darts. And I was like, weird, right? Because how do you cheat in darts? And it turns out it's mostly unsportsmanlike conduct. It's not actually cheating.
Okay.
Like somebody, coughs to distract somebody. A judge made a call that something was in the line and it wasn't, and everyone went along with it, even though it was considered dishonorable. But I shit you not, one guy got in trouble, if you look up British dart shit, for farting, making really, really bad farts to distract a thrower who later complained about it and said, I couldn't do good darts.
Okay.
Because this guy's been farting too much. He literally did the thing from the I Think You Should Leave sketch. I can't come up with good car ideas because this guy's farting too much. And it was taken seriously. The YouTube video has the guy being this kind of unsportsmanlike conduct was no longer, appreciated within the British League of Darts. And it just kind of shows 2 guys, and they look like dart players.
Yeah.
They look like bowling guys who bowl professionally.
The games of skill physique.
Yes, exactly. The golf to darts
to pool
spectrum. Yeah. Billiards to bowling ratio. Mm-hmm. But I was just
So is there a guy? Yeah. Is there a guy with a counter? Does he have a transparent green visor on?
Like a fart counter?
Yeah.
No, it was a guy talking about, it was just showing footage of the match where you, I cannot stress this enough, could not see the farts. But just talking about it, and you just see 2 guys playing darts. One of them maybe has a look on his face he's being distracted. No,
the way that you do that, you would have to take some chalk, a bunch of chalk dust, and put it on the seat of the pants. That way, if there is any disturbance of the particles, you can see.
You can make sure that person gets disqualified in the darts championship. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or do infrared. Predator vision.
So he's got the visor on and the IR goggles.
Yeah, there's a whole eye in the sky situation. Yeah. And I was just if that's cheating, that's, you can do that in any game. And it's just very funny to me that darts was so hard up for controversies that they had to have one dude being gassy as a legit problem.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. Let's get going. Let's get into these Q's and A's.
Yeah, let's A some Q's. We have Chapel, who starts us off with some game questions here, saying, FromSoft are innovators in many spaces. Oh, wow, this is so appropriate, actually. But something that often goes unremarked upon are their innovations in video game ass blasting. Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, maybe I primed myself by reading the question beforehand, but I did want to bring up that YouTube, and I was worried I'd forget about it by the time we recorded Epic Suffering next week. So
Chapel continues, I know there's a cultural touch point in the kappa that might seem less surprising to a Japanese audience, but I'll never forget the feeling of going shoulder deep in the wrong way in some sewer pork in Bloodborne. Not to mention the headless in Sekiro and the loathsome Dung Eater. My question is, what are some of the most notable, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing, moments in games for y'all?
Yeah. FromSoft is good at these, and I think like cross-cultural stuff is good for this. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the ones that I can think of are from FromSoft games.
Yeah.
Like the first Bone Wheel skeleton I saw.
Yeah. The 3-3, the Maiden Estrella fight, when it was are these literally like fetuses like running? Are these plague fetuses? Yeah.
Yep. You know, stuff like that. Like I've never, the butt stuff I understood before I got into it. Mm-hmm. Horrible sentence. Don't take that. What I mean is I understood I can't remember what it's called, but like the thing that the guys are taking out of you, the headless take out of you in Sekiro.
Yeah.
You know, like they're pulling a thing
ball.
out of you.
Yeah.
Little soul ball that, you have in the butt. Mm-hmm. So I knew about that from looking at mythology stuff. So I was just like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You know, put away my puerile, thoughts of doing this butt thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just, put on some cultural relativism a little bit. Mm-hmm. So most of the stuff I'd seen had been like, is weird motions. I talked about the Albinaurics doing cartwheels in Elden Ring. Like that was a great, am I fucking seeing this? So it's usually for me, it's silly shit as opposed to butt stuff.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because of, the fact that we grew up in America where any kind of nudity is verboten. But if a game features anybody hanging dong, that immediately like triggers a fight or flight response in me.
Because dong is still rare.
Yeah.
And it's used for terror. Like people understand that, but from Arioster to what is it? Not Red Hook games, frictional games.
Frictional and Red Barrel with Outlast. Yeah.
Yeah, they know to use the dong. Mm-hmm. So it is a force for terror.
It is. Yeah, you get some of that Eastern Promises right up in your face.
yeah. Eastern Promises are kept. Mm-hmm. Sean says, it took 6.5 years, but we finally got episode 2 of Honey Talk. The recent remake of Tony Hawk 4 added a new level set in an abandoned water slide park, which is such an absurdly good idea that it's baffling that it hasn't existed in a Tony Hawk game until now. Can you think of any other mechanics, characters, or settings for games, either that exist or that you can't believe don't exist, that feel like they were born with the universe in a similar way?
I mean, I feel like we should have like a little audio stinger for our monthly "This Should Have Been a Hitman" level segments.
Yeah. I was going to say, just this is, and it's not off the dome, but like I mentioned, a couple things ago, like Renaissance Fair Hitman. Mm-hmm. Bam. It's a perfect level.
Yeah.
Like he's sabotaging jousting lances. Mm-hmm. He's getting in the joust himself.
Yeah.
Things like that. He has to, like any number of things. Mm-hmm. You have to do, like, you have the little Concord, you have the food court, you have falconry.
Yep.
Like, you go and you train one of the birds for eyes, or something like that. Like, there's so many, it's endless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's hard to think of an example outside of that, primarily because we have thought about it before, but also like because that is such a we simulate like a space that
It's the thing that Tony Hawk and Hitman have in common is that like you can just be in a real space and think, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I can imagine how this plays.
Mm-hmm. Then you get into like, the combination of like an apartment building and an immersive sim, right?
Yeah.
Like that just makes sense,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that we're not getting more Hitman games.
I know, right?
Fuck a James Bond. Like I'm, vaguely curious. Like I like that developer.
They know how to make a game. Yeah.
They know how to make a game. It might be great. Mm-hmm. I just really want level packs for Hitman.
Yeah. They could have kept doing that forever. It would have made me happy.
Every 2 years.
Yep.
Like give me another 6 levels. I would have been happy as a fucking clam.
Mm-hmm.
We never got a video game convention.
Nope.
That'd be a great level with costume contest, panels.
Mm-hmm.
another convention going on, like a daddy-daughter dance convention or whatever going on at the same time.
Advanced PRGE. Yeah.
Yeah, like just fucking, be so good. What does Ian say?
Ian says, more of a comment than a question, but heartfelt. Elden Ring was my first FromSoft game, and having no context of the Souls-like genre, I bounced off of it hard. I tried to get into it probably 5 times over the last 3 years and never made it out of West Limgrave. This year, I have been listening to the back catalog of Bonfireside Chat, and I recently started playing along with the Elden Ring season. Now that I can emerge with the game on its own terms, Now that I can engage with the game on its own terms, I really feel like I have accomplished something, and I would not have been able to do it without you. I want you to know that listening to your various shows has helped me maintain my sanity in this dystopian present, and our parasocial friendship means the world to me. Keep up the good work. Like good teachers, you will never know how profound an impact you make on people's lives. I've been saying for years that I deserve as much credit as a good teacher, so I'm happy to see somebody.
Or a firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking about that. Like, just like, give me firefighter credit as a podcaster, where's the podcaster calendar?
Where's my parade?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Happy to help. Get it. I also have parasocial relationships that very formative that I like a lot. So awesome.
Happy we can make a difference.
Glad you got into it. Glad to help.
Yeah.
Nick says, hi y'all. I recently started doing a games club sort of thing with a friend. I need an accountability buddy to finish games, and we're starting Deus Ex this week. I have the old WoW episodes ready to listen afterwards. Excited to hear some old sketches. Any advice you all would give for a first-timer in the Deus Ex universe that is also unfamiliar with MSIMs?
Quick save and try shit.
Yeah, quick save a lot. You got to have your quick save discipline. It will get better as you gain verbs. Like the Liberty Island is great, but you don't have a lot of things to do. Like you can still sneak and move around and talk and things like that, but you don't have all your tools. So it does feel a little limited. Like Deus Ex will open up, like basically when you get to New York.
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen.
It'll feel a little different. Like Hell's Kitchen, like once you have some augs, it will feel a little different.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough MSIM to start with.
It is. Yeah.
Because it's great. It's one of, depending on what day you ask me, like when I've done those quizzes, it's my favorite game of all time. I don't know if I think that's true, but the quiz tells me it is. And it does everything I love. But it is tough. Like it's tough to get into, I think largely in part because it's dressed as other genres more than other MSIMs are.
Yeah. Like
it feels and kind of operates like a shooter. Like you have the same weapon progression early on. That's most of what you can do. And it will punish you for playing it like a shooter. It's really kind of not.
Yeah. No. I'm trying to think of like general MSIM advice, and it's just seriously, if you've never played one of these before, reteach yourself how to ask questions to the world in it.
Yeah.
Because the answer is going to be yes more often than you think.
Yeah. Try stuff and don't kind of put aside some assumptions of like, oh, a video game won't let me do that. Like, oh, could I get, like, here's a bunch of boxes and stuff. Could I get up there and skip this? Yes, you can. That is the joy of the game.
Yeah.
So, get used to being told yes in a hobby where you are mostly told no.
Yeah. I think that's good. Naveen writes, with Donkey Kong Bonanza being a de facto sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, what other sequels would you like to see with a different character? Elden Ring 2 starring Ronnie? Tears of the Wild starring Tingle? Disco Elysium 2 starring Kim Kitsuragi? The possibilities are endless. Yeah. Sequels that could star somebody who is in the game.
I don't have a good answer for this because I have a Killjoy answer, which is that I feel like I don't want this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be, this is a fun question. I'm not trying to be not fun.
Everybody knows that's a futile effort for us, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the kind of Killjoy kind of thing. I'd just be like, I don't really like this kind of thing. I mean, I guess, sometimes it works out. It's just hard for me to wish cast it because when it happens, it's so against my instincts, right? So I think Rocket Slime is the best Dragon Quest game. On paper, it's a bad idea. It doesn't sound like a good idea, but it worked out.
Yeah.
like as a thing. The Tingle Zelda game didn't. So it doesn't always work out.
Yeah. And like Disco Elysium 2 with Kim, I don't know that that works to me. Kim doesn't feel like main character, like point of view. I mean, especially, when you consider how much of that game is about being a mess and having those different voices and drives,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also, we're recording this the same week we recorded the first episode of Best Quality Vacuum about Better Call Saul.
Right.
Which has a similar vibe. Like that seemed like a horrible idea and they just pulled it off. So it's one of those things where like ideas are cheap, and execution is the thing that matters. So it's again, serious answer to a fun question. Sorry.
I'm trying to fix it. No, I'm not.
Dingle asks, as the mouth of hell yawns across the waste in the stolen land, my bird brain chirped up a little topic that helped me whistle in the dark. What to your minds are some extinct game genres, ones that have fallen into obscurity and out of favor, that you believe deserve a comeback? One example that comes to mind are the simple co-op-centered ARPGs in the vein of Gauntlet Legends or X-Men Legends. Sometimes I just want a game to play with friends where the A button means light attack and B means heavy. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, this, Gary. I'll be on my shit. Peripheral-based rhythm games.
Yeah. Peripheral-based rhythm games went away.
Yeah.
If those come back, it's going to be so tough because plastic is so fucking expensive now. Not that it can't be affordable, but it's with the concurrence of plastic getting expensive and how many units a game has to sell to be sustainable.
Right.
Like it is going to, and how I feel like licensing is more expensive now too. That might be impossible to come back. I'm not saying that to shit on your dreams because I want it too.
No, I mean, so I say I want this to come back. Part of that is just me wishing I was in high school and college again to certain degrees. I'm playing more rhythm games now than I have in, years, primarily because of Clone Hero and Rocksmith, right?
Yeah.
I have that PDP, I don't know, Shred Master or whatever it was called. Just modern, a guitar that easily works on modern systems, right?
I've got PDP Shred Master?
I think so, yeah. I don't know, maybe.
Sucks.
It's got, maybe Riff Master or something like that.
Sucks. Yeah. Dump it. Sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that is my go-to answer on that.
I too would like a X-Men Legends ARPG. I want that back, even though they're kind of our versions of it. I would have said sports game, arcade sports game with the Tony Hawk remake. Those are kind of in fashion. I feel like we might get some of that. We might be on the cusp of it. I'm going to say a single player card game, not necessarily a roguelike. So a thing like the Pokemon trading card game. Or
the Magic something or other.
Chandelar. I'm playing the fakey Chandelar from something called Magic Forge, the updated one that has all of the sets. It's fucking nuts. It's really cool. It's just a free project. It's unbelievable value for being free. But I would like a more thoughtful version of the third world of Inscription.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the more fun mode next to it.
Oh, you mean the second one? The third one is
the Pokemon one.
Yeah.
Oh, the third one is like the Souls-like one where there are bonfires and shit. If I recall, right?
That's the node-based computer one. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The second one, like the second world of Inscription, but a little bit more thoughtful. Yeah. I think that'd be cool. And that kind of went away.
Yeah. That was strictly an aughts thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are tons of dead genres, and it's fun to think about because I would like them back.
Yeah. Do one more of these, you think?
Sure.
Yeah. Gaz writes, hey both, I just wanted to make a suggestion more than anything. Knowing that you're both into survival horror, I just played a new game that released on Xbox a couple of weeks ago, I believe on PC back in January, called Dead of Darkness. I don't want to spoil too much, so you guys can check it out for yourselves, but it has almost everything I love from the original Resident Evil games, such as long red doors with themed keys, inventory management with save rooms, and item boxes, and a lot of Metroidvania-type backtracking. Some of the story beats even reminded me of Crow Country. As I said, don't want to give too much away, so we'll say no more, but I just wanted to put it on your radars.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was unaware of this one, and it's on my list for Hexcrank. So it is possible you might see it there.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah, because I never plug this because I'm a fucking idiot. When I say Hexcrank, I stream horror games on the weekends. So follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Duckfeed.tv. Yeah.
Thanks. A couple of people. So this is the first time we're recording a dispatch after our friend Jeremy passed. And a couple of people wrote in about that. We're going to read the responses just because, last thing we want to do is forget, we're not going to forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it meant something to everybody else too. So Joseph writes in saying, hey, Kaye and Gary, been a while since I've done a response, but I just wanted to come on here and show some love. A lot has happened in the past couple of months. I know you guys have been going through it. And I just want to say that I absolutely love both of you and love that all that you guys have done over the years. I'm sad to hear the news about Jeremy. And I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope that Jeremy's family is doing well as well. And with the news about Kaye, though I feel like I may be late to the party since I saw the post literally yesterday as of writing this, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you and support you in this, Kaye. You are an important part of my life. And Gary, you are too.
Aww.
Thank you. And also me. Both of you have been there for me with your podcast through dark times in my life. And I wish I could do more to thank you for that and to support you in any way I can, especially through this transition in your life. Honestly, don't know a lot about the trans community, and that's my fault. But your story has inspired me to look into it and support the trans community in any way that I can to help you and others in what you're going through. Love you guys. Stay strong, keep moving forward, and always know that no matter what anyone says, you're doing great things, are supported and loved.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'll read Steven's here too.
Yeah.
Steven says, hey guys, no question. Just wanted to send some love to the whole Duckfeed team. I'm sure the last few months were quite emotionally charged already for Kaye in particular, but then to learn the awful news about Jeremy. Like I said, I wanted to send my love and support. Be kind to yourselves and each other, and whatever changes you need to make to the schedule, I'm sure we'll all understand. Tog Boggy, Stefan, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody. Yeah, it still fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And by that, of course, I mean your transition. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I expected
just
that.
Kidding.
No,
just kidding. I obviously that is good.
Yeah.
I've done my time in the saying that's good minds. It's great. You're still just Kaye. Not a whole lot has changed for me. Uh-huh. Yeah, I miss Jeremy.
Yeah.
And it's I'm not super good at grief. Mm-hmm. So it fucking sucks. Like I am reaching over to text him a lot.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
It is.
It's so fucked. It's so horrible. So young. Mm-hmm. It fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And I do not know what to do.
Nope.
Like there's nothing.
No.
This is silly. I haven't read an X-Men comic.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I'm like, it's before bed. I like to do this. And it just feels fucking weird. Mm-hmm. And that's the most unimportant thing in the world. That's just comic books. That's guys in underwear who punch each other. Mm-hmm. But
it's something you shared.
It's something, just something that was important.
Yeah.
To us. And it's unreal.
I wish that there was any rhyme or reason to what did it, but it's literally just landmines that set it off, and something that has kind of both helped and also, kind of spurred some of the sads is, we put out, we reissued the Bonfireside chats that we were lucky enough to have Jeremy on. And people's responses to those have been super heartening, but then also it makes me think about them, and that is bittersweet. So,
it's a thing where I was close with Jeremy. We were close with Jeremy. Mm-hmm. We don't own him.
Nope.
He was a talent, and it was a good idea. I think it might have been Gwen's idea to rerun Yeah. Those, I think so. Great. I can't remember if that's true, but great idea kind of regardless.
Yeah.
And and Jeremy would have wanted that. Jeremy loved doing this. He loved podcasting, and he kind of similar to the parasocial response earlier, like means something to you. It's not a pissing contest. It's not it's not a contest. He means something to you. Yeah. And I get it.
Yeah.
So all we can really do is remember him.
Yep. And
the
only thing they'll get us out of this is time.
Yep. Yeah. There's nothing to do. Grief fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You just tank it. As far as I can tell, I've never heard good advice.
Nope.
About it. I've never, and when I've done it, be it like, from my cat to my mom, you just go through it.
Yeah.
It does get better. Like it sincerely does, but it just, not yet.
Not yet.
So, it's still fucking with me pretty bad.
I might usher us off of this because I'm starting to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take us off this. No need to usher. Yeah. Thanks everybody for your thoughts.
Thank you. Yes.
Gabe writes in, moving on to lifestyle questions. I realize this is pretty off topic, but I was wondering, Gary, what kind of synthesizers do you have and have you used in the past? Just curious. Love the network. Thank you. Right now, my current daily synth, my daily carry in the band. So I use a Korg SVON stage piano, which is my main keyboard. I mostly use for organ. And then for synthesizer, I use a Roland Gaia. In the past, I have owned many a synthesizer. I used to have like a Moog Little Fatty. I had a Roland 3P JX3P. I can't remember instrument names when they start getting to letters and numbers always throw me off and stuff. So I've owned a few. Right now, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. It's fairly versatile. It's a little lightweight. It's a little cheap feeling. Ideally, like I would replace it at some point with something a little bit more hearty and beefy. But not there yet. And the band does not make money. So that is purely just hobby money. I have I got a fucking mortgage. Yeah. Every time I want to buy a cool keyboard, I have to think about that.
Think about the roof, the house you have to keep hot. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The evil trees I have to kill.
It's still your deadly premonition ass predicament that you have.
Tree of heaven to tree of hell still has to go. So.
Oh gosh. Holland writes, "Hey, you two. Summer always makes me want to play an older RPG, so I tried Final Fantasy VIII for the first time. Side note, what a stinker! How dare you?"
Come on. You're not wrong, Holland.
What gives you the right? I wanted to check when Disc 3 ended because I heard it was a point of no return, and I didn't want to miss out on side quests. I Googled FF8 Disc 3 endpoint and stumbled across at least a dozen different posts from young people that all said something to the effect of, I looked at Final Fantasy VIII on my ROM site and it lists 4 discs. Are these different versions of the game? Which one should I play? These goddamn babies and their terabyte USB sticks and internet phones couldn't comprehend a time when media had to be spread across multiple pieces of storage because of file size limitations. Anyway, it had me feel a million years old, and I was wondering if either of you have had any old gamer moments like that.
I love the idea of these kids like picking up the Seventh Guest and being like, man, they released like 12 different versions of the Seventh Guest, or something like that. Like, oh, I can't believe there are 4 different Betrayal at Krondors.
So is like Riven Disc 2 versus Riven Disc 1 or 5? Is that like a Pokemon Blue and Red situation?
Yeah, you can trade puzzles with other people who have different Riven discs than you do. So many things. Like there's a lot of, I don't generally feel old. Right. Like I feel old because my body, time passing and having different frame of references, I think is kind of cool. It makes me, it's a real boomer coded thing, but like, it's kind of fun to me because a lot of that shit's really weird and it's fun to, it passes from like, just a fact of life to fun surreality. This isn't game related, but I recently rewatched a pet show of mine, which is Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, the fake, the Kyle Mooney and Scott Garnier fake Saturday morning cartoon show. And one of the things they do is they have a whole like public service announcement Nancy Reagan thing because kids keep saying shut up.
Okay.
and how it's really rude and you shouldn't say shut up. It fosters a culture of disrespect, and they move it to S up.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I remember like when I was a kid, there being a fairly concentrated effort to not say things suck.
Mm-hmm. They suck
well?
what? They suck what?
There was that, and it just being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that being told to me with a straight face, like somebody being like, we shouldn't say that because it's disrespectful. We have to stop kids from saying this like it was a thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, a bunch of cartoons getting together to tell you not to do that just feels quaint and funny and weird to me now. The fact that I remember that makes me not feel special, but feel like, fuck, man, the world has changed. Like, I'm not super old.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just that it changes fast, right?
It changes very fast.
An academic amount of time is way different than an experienced amount of time, you know? Like, you know, I remember things 25 years ago or, 20 years ago very easily because that was fucking high school for me. Right. It was weird. There definitely was a, I'm getting yelled at for saying something sucks. I have a distinct recollection of being like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years old. And I was super angry because, I died in the middle of a boss fight with the 4 fiends in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, sure.
And I forget, but a family member, I was like, hey, why are you so angry? And I said, oh, because of the 4 freaking fiends. And they were like, you cannot say freaking. And I was like,
my
why?
Freaking ears.
My freaking,
I don't want your damn vegetables.
And just like, I was like, well, what's wrong with freaking? It's like, well, what does that sound like? And I was like, but I can say heck and darn.
Yeah. My dad got mad at me for saying dork because of what does that sound like? What does that mean?
The horrible things your dad said in front of and to you.
My dad said the N-word in front of me a bunch, and I couldn't say. I didn't want to, but I wasn't supposed to say dork. Like ludicrous. And it's just kind of like it's so quaint now. Mm-hmm. Now our Puritanism is so much more sinister. Than just like it's disrespectful to say shut up.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird. Yeah. It's hard to think of any like, oh, I am so old. Like I had a moment. So my electrolysis technician is probably like 7 years younger than me, something like that. Mm-hmm. And, we talk about video games quite a bit because it's a thing we have in common. I can talk about it a lot. And we were talking about like Red Faction Guerrilla, which is a fun game. But, we're just
Bad ape.
Well, yeah. Little revolutionary ape. Yeah. Just trying to rule Mars with an iron fist. Yeah. And she said something like, back when they used to make games, oh gosh, the way they used to make them. And I thought like, wow, like 2009. That doesn't feel that doesn't feel like a very appreciably different to me.
No.
So like, I just, I didn't say like, oh my gosh, what do you even mean about this? Because the conversation moved on, but like being nostalgic for the way they used to make games back in 2009 is a strange idea to me.
Yeah. It's kind of, I've come around where it's super strange, but it feels kind of fun to me.
Yeah.
To think of that stuff. Like once you realize you can exist in the past, like the past doesn't disappear. Mm-hmm. Like all that stuff still has access to it. And if you can access it, if it feels like, if you feel like that, then it ceases to feel bad because it's like, oh no, all that stuff just exists. Mm-hmm. Like it's a Yithian beyond time perspective.
Yeah.
On things. It's Donnie Darko pilled a little bit.
Yeah. And like regarding any of this, I can stay young by just deciding not to be an old fucking crank, which is a lot of power to have.
Or not even stay young. You just, you can decide not to be, you can decide to be good.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit what your age is? Like, it's silly.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, people lose their minds over that stuff. And it's just like, it's all pretty arbitrary.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Memory cards.
Memory cards
is the answer.
Yeah, memory.
Ryan says, hi all. I work in vanity publishing. It's a big evil industry. My particular sector focuses on online press releases and mostly preys on pensioners. It sucks, but it pays the bills. I deal with a lot of clients, many of whom have funny or memorable names. One guy on my list today was called Gary Dangerfield, and I'm unashamed to say that I immediately thought of him as a bizarro version of our Gary Butterfield. Appropriately, not trying to dox this guy, Mr. Dangerfield is a military veteran, whereas Mr. Butterfield is a podcaster. Nominative determinism at its finest. My question for you, leaving aside the Bizarro Gary I just discovered, what do you reckon your Bizarro selves would be like? And how would their similar sounding last names, i.e. Dangerfield versus Butterfield, reflect this? Apologies if this has come up before. It hasn't.
Would you believe? Would you believe?
Yeah. The version of me that I've always thought of did not have nominative determinism. The version that was always a joke for me was Barry Margarine Meadows. And when I was in a band in my 20s, we played with a guy who looked like me except better.
Okay.
Love it when that happens.
Just a more handsome you.
Yeah, just better looking. Just better looking, a little bit like in better shape, slightly better features than me.
Yeah.
Here, who was our Barry Margarine Meadows. I always think of it like the Spaceballs stunt doubles as opposed to somebody who's like a Bizarro.
Yeah.
I don't know who would be the Bizarro version of me.
The Lester and Eliza.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how I would describe the Bizarro version of me. Nothing about me is so strongly expressed that there is a defined opposite to it.
And it's also hard not to just like down yourself.
Yeah.
About that. It's like, oh, the version of me would have, would be a tradesman who loved the troops. And, had a bunch of kids. It'd be Gary Fertile Field.
Yeah, I can't do the nominative determinism thing because my last name is one syllable. Like it's really hard to really fuck with Ross, right? In a way that means anything.
Yeah. First name, like possibly some things.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a K. I was thinking of a Quay.
Oh,
like
like a key. Yeah,
yeah, like a key. Yeah, and then you also have loss for Ross, and that brings in a bunch of stuff. But then we're just rhyming.
Yeah, that's just rhyming. There's no real meaning to that. Yeah,
it's fun, but what good is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Rhymes
it doesn't add up to anything. Fucking children's word games. No. Let's move down to media questions.
Let's.
Yeah. Luke says, hey, love you both. Do you think Jesse from Team Rocket and Jesse from Breaking Bad would have fixed each other? Please imagine their relationship and elaborate graphically. Luke. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
I mean, season 1 and 2, Jesse would definitely have called Team Rocket Jesse a homophobic slur.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Jesse in, it's Jesse and whom in Team Rocket? Jesse and James, right?
It did, yeah. Oh, wait, shit, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse's the lady, I think.
Jesse's the lady, okay.
Yeah, Jesse is the lady in Team Rocket. So I think that, Jesse would have been put off, but also early Jesse was monstrously horny.
True.
Like, he would have just been like, oh, this lady's super hot. I feel like he would probably take his engorged member and slowly slide it between her womanhood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reference this diagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Reference this diagram, is slowly pumping, I could do it as graphically as you want, but it feels weird.
Would there be, would she be milfy enough for him? Cause he does enjoy that aspect in a lady.
That is true. I don't know if he'd be milfy enough. He likes everybody though. Cause he also, he got in with Jane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think they would fix each other.
No. I think
in some ways they were both addicts.
Yes.
And I think that if Jesse from Team Rocket turned Jesse from Breaking Bad onto the addiction that is catching Pokemon, maybe they could fix each other because it's ultimately a less harmful addiction.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I think it's much more likely that he would get her into meth.
I don't think that Jesse from Team Rocket would help Jesse defeat Gus, but I do think Jesse from Breaking Bad would help Jesse defeat Giovanni. Like if we're talking like a bad boss we need to overthrow. Yeah,
or like Ash.
Oh yeah.
Or like Ash Ketchum, Jesse could take out Ash.
Oh God, yeah, no, like immediately.
Guskar.
Jesse has a gun. Yeah,
Yeah, and Ash doesn't. And like he has a mouse, but you can shoot a mouse.
Shit, Ash is young. You forget that.
Yeah.
Like, would Jesse kill a child because Ash is supposed to be like 10?
Oh my God. Yeah, he wouldn't. He would be on Ash's side. Yeah, they wouldn't get along at all.
No.
The fact that this adult is terrorizing this child would really bother Jesse. Yeah. So they would be purely physical. Simon, and very, very passionate. Simon says, hello, Kaye, not to be a recommendy guy, but have you read or heard of the novel ASL by Jean Thornton? It is a stunning, brutal, elegant, and weird book about 3 trans kids in the late 90s meeting over IRC to make a very soulsy RPG in a facsimile of ZZT, who then reconvene 2 decades later. It is the best book I've read in years, and not just because it's about trans kids and old video games, okay?
This was already like on my like Kindle wish list or whatever. I had heard of it and sounds extremely my shit. So
Thanks.
yeah. Nothing more to say about that. Just sounds like a good book. Let's see. Joseph says, after running into the vampire hunter Grunfeld Bach from the Society of Leopold in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I found myself imagining how fun it would be for my fledgling to be hunted down by Gabriel Knight and his Schattenjagers sometimes. What are some unlikely crossovers you'd love to see?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabriel Knight and the Schattenjagers is also a good band name.
Yeah.
For me. Like, just to appeal to me. And to confuse and be found and irritate everyone else in the world.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Gabriel Knight facing any kind of situations. You really primed me on this one.
Yeah. It's just the stock characters who I like. I also want to see JC Denton doing stuff.
Yeah.
Add an unlockable JC Denton skater.
JC Denton's cooking mama.
Yeah, I would take it. Just any of those things would be great. Just I like seeing the characters who I like.
Yeah,
in stuff. It would be funny if Gabriel Knight was in Bloodlines.
Yes. I'm positive somebody has imported a Gabriel Knight alike into their World of Darkness campaign.
At the table, yeah.
Yeah,
I imagine so, and it's a good idea. Because it's an easy voice, it's an easy personality to slip into. I should steal it. I should add Gabriel Knight to my non-vampire campaign.
Yeah.
The everybody in my current campaign, which I took a little grief break, but is from the swamplands. Like, so not everybody remembers to do it, but everybody does kind of have Gambit accents sometimes.
Yay.
It's real silly. I didn't want that. That's something that Riff kind of added to things.
Okay.
And I was going for a slightly more serious tone than that, but it's now grown on me and I love it.
Okay.
So,
yeah. All it takes is a little bit of exposure. You just get used to it.
Yeah. And it's also, it's some levity because I'm trying to do grim shit.
Yes.
In the game. So it's good to have a little bit of, every once in a while, Gambit pops in. So.
Yeah. What's Trialflight say?
Oh, yeah. This is me. Hey, folks. Do either of you have examples of art or media you enjoy in genres you don't typically engage with, or even outright tend to dislike? Has this exception ever gotten you a bit more into a genre or medium than you were beforehand? This could be movies, music, games, fine art, books, etc. Thanks. No to the second question. There are things that are genres I don't like, and I do like some examples of it. But typically it doesn't extend to those other examples. Something I think about, I'm a big defender of the late 90s romantic comedy As Good As It Gets. I like that movie a lot. I did not get into by the numbers romantic comedies from that. Every time I try another one, I've been like, this fucking sucks.
No, not Notting Hills or Runaway Brides. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Hate it. But I like that movie. There's something to that movie that I like. Ozzy Osbourne just died.
Yep.
I like Black Sabbath. I
don't
really like heavy metal, but I prefer other kinds of music. But Black Sabbath has, the greatest hits of Black Sabbath is a good time to me.
Yeah.
Put that on. I have a good time. I like that album. It didn't get me into metal.
No.
Yeah.
It just, I listen to the ones that sound like music that I already kind of like because it inspired that music that I already kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not the biggest like, hip hop or rap listener. I'm not a huge, like, I don't know, not greatly knowledgeable about it, but like, I don't know, Run the Jewels, like,
Yeah.
crazy into that. I guess that just verges into like nerdy shit because of LP, but yeah.
It's I think about hip hop as well. It's so broad that even
Exactly.
though like there's like 6 or 7 like hip hop artists, God, that sounds intolerable.
Go on YouTube. Hip hop exists.
Fucking yeah, just Lathe of Heaven, that shit. Lathe of Hell, Lathe of Heaven too. There's a bunch of them, like 6 or 7 hip hop artists I can say I really like, but it still feels like it's just a drop in the bucket and I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
I can be like, oh no, like I legitimately really love Outkast and Run the Jewels and Deltron 3030 and, these bands, and it still is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm still being a dabbler.
Yeah. So
too big.
Yeah, too big. It is a whole continent of music, I guess.
Yes.
And I only have a couple of different outposts on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's fine. I like other stuff instead.
Yeah. And in addition to, and I will continue to like more stuff as I get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malachi says, I have noticed several songs through my life that are overall below average or just plain bad, but have one aspect that bats well above its average. An example of this that comes to mind is the riff in 96 Quite Bitter Beings. What was Kaye's anonymous name? Both being music people, do either of you have examples that come to mind of songs that waste a really good aspect of an otherwise mid song? As always, thank you for the hundreds of hours of entertainment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It was Commander Crimson.
Even Gary doesn't know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Except it was Commander Crimson.
Mid songs that have something that really sticks out.
Hard for me to think of. There's definitely songs that have, a cool bit. To them, like a lot of times something will have a good riff and then just be way too long for me, but then I don't tend to listen to them in spite of it, and then I forget.
Yeah.
Or it rounds into the other way where it's like it starts as something where I'm like, oh, this is, I just like this melody, and then I end up liking the song overall.
Yeah.
It's hard, this middle area, things tend to shunt into one or the other for me.
So like a song, it is very hard for a song to be mid to me. Right.
Yeah.
Because like there is so little investment to just saying, oh, I actually like this song, that like guilty pleasure music shit doesn't exist for me, because what is the, like, it is worth knowing what you like in music, but also like, I'm not like shooting my radio like I'm fucking Elvis. Right.
Yeah. Same, kind of too. There are different, there's so many different degrees of engagement with different mediums. And music is one of those where it's interesting. Like I think about myself as a music guy, and I'm where you are, right? Like there's not a lot of stuff I listen to where I'm like, this is fine. I just don't listen to it. I listen to stuff I like instead.
Yeah.
But I think about Brian, who plays drums in my band, who is definitively like the music guy, listens to everything, is constantly listening to music, goes to shows alone all the time. And I think that he ends up listening to stuff that he was just like, oh yeah, this is pleasing enough. A lot. I'm not trying to say that to disparage him. It's just a bigger part of his life.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's better than my equivalent, which is probably like fucking YouTube. Like disgustingly, like I will just watch some mid-ass YouTube, almost exclusively mid-ass YouTube.
Yeah. That's the majority of shit.
Yeah. I'm not above that. With music, I tend to shunt things into, I really like it. And then it gets in the rotation, it gets locked in. It's pretty rare that I listen to something I'm like, this is just okay.
Yeah.
And then I keep listening to it.
So I don't know. The main piano hook of Drops of Jupiter is pretty good, I think.
Like Coldplay has made a couple okay melodies, and then they produce the shit out of it, and it sounds like dick.
Yeah. It just gets down to that level. Like, okay, this music is basically wallpaper, but this taken into a better song would work. Yeah.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that it has been taken into a better song. Like there's another song out there that does it. And if not, you can make it.
Yep.
You don't have to just skim the cream off of, you don't have to drink the wine out of a barrel of sewage.
Right.
That is Coldplay. Yeah. Bo says, As you two have progressed through the show since its inception, it seems like WAF has acted as a bit of a sieve for clarifying to yourselves what games and what game mechanics you really click with and care about. From the JRPGing of it all, coming to be less exciting, like being done with kid art, and ever more populated, distinguished college of games for which Kaye feels nothing. You both have come to a better understanding of what games do and mean for you. I've seen similar narrowing of taste as I get older and more interested in things that I care about, while with that narrowing, I have found myself, like you two, equipped with a better ability to articulate myself on and with art. It has also just distanced me from the broad community surrounding my interest as I cozen up to my little niche, little DMZ. Given the size and breadth of your audience, composed of many different appetites and appreciations than your own, all wanting you to cover vastly different things in different ways, how do you manage the divide between what gets you to really flowing with the juices and what speaks to all sections of your audience? That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's something we think about. It's something that I was thinking about a lot with the Talos principle.
Yeah.
In that it's a game that, like, I liked it. Would have, but just, probably wouldn't have finished it. Probably would have quit.
Yeah.
If I was just playing it on my own. And then I think about a lot of puzzle games where I get sick of that 75% point and would want to quit if it was just up to my druthers. There's definitely a tension there that we're aware of. And trying to find the balance of covering a breadth of things, challenging ourselves, and giving ourselves treats.
Yeah.
And when we say treats, that's our dismissive way of saying something we have to talk about.
Yeah.
That we want to talk about. It's not really a treat. It makes for really good episodes. Like, if we give a shit about something a lot, I think we do better work.
Yeah.
The worst thing is, like, if we both feel nothing. That's a rough.
That's a rough zone.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it happens sometimes. We're just like, man, that was certainly a fucking game. And we no passion.
Yeah.
This is definitely a thing to think about in terms of how we do it. I don't know, because you kind of have to guess a lot of the time if it's something we haven't played.
Yeah. I think that both of us are, novelty seekers enough to the point where this just kind of happens naturally. We're like, all right, every time we play a game, we're on a cooldown for, wanting it to be a little while before we play that kind of game again.
Yeah.
And that can even extend to, like, whether or not, like, this is going to put butts in seats, right? Or is this going to be like a beloved game from a while ago? Well, I don't know that I want to play a game, from the PS2 era all the time. Like, we're going to need to throw that in. I think that happens a lot with NES games, that we do. So I just think that, like, us naturally wanting to move on to something different, and the fact that our cadence is, once a week, give or take a dispatch week, means that we're just kind of naturally going to hit that, kind of hit that variety, and thus serve, the different parts of our audience pretty well. Right.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the goal.
Yeah.
There's also navigating each other's, like, stuff like that. Like, I feel like I get fatigued by NES a little bit less, which is probably because I'm old, because I played it more. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the refractory period we have for NES there, even if I could do, one more a year and probably be okay.
Yeah.
That would probably hit my refractory period. There's just so much there. Like, there's infinity. The first part about, the idea of this project as a way to narrow yourself down and refine your taste, I think is 100% true. I think that this would happen anyway as I got older.
Yeah.
In many ways, like, the act of being a person is an endless journey to the center of yourself. Like, you are an infinite planet as well.
Yeah.
And figuring yourself out is a lifelong project. And that can be very important things. That can be very unimportant things. That could be down to, like, what kind of Sour Patch Kid tastes good to you, what kind of games you like, who you are, what your values are. All of those things are an ongoing project. It feels very natural to me to have that kind of sieve effect and kind of know yourself better the more time you spend with yourself.
Yeah. Well, just as you go, you get more data. As you consume more things, you are tuning personal algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that I think that's okay. I think that's cool, because everything, you can get yourself very narrow. A narrow slice of infinity is still infinity.
Yeah.
And the media that we cover is effectively infinite. Not quite, not literally, but 1 week a game, or 1 game a week, and with the past, We never covered a game from like China.
Nope.
There's a whole burgeoning like RPG scene from there. Like if can't remember his name right now, the person from Bitmap Books.
Yeah.
It's a pet subject on their Blue Sky, but like that's a whole thing. Everything's an infinite planet. There's so much. Like you can narrow it down so much and still have so much to do. It's great.
Yeah.
Post scarcity when it comes to art.
Yeah. Like it is you can talk about like the market effects of that on individual creators, blah, blah, blah. Like, the loss of the monoculture to a certain degree, but like for the consumer side of it, it's unmitigated good. Yeah.
Yeah. And people are nostalgic for when it wasn't that, and I get it, but also like, no, it's pretty cool. You just have to take a little bit of, a little bit more curation responsibility on your own.
Yeah.
And you will be a pig in shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eric, another show question here. Eric says, I don't think maybe enough hay has been made of this, but dang, you had Jake Rockatansky on Bonfireside Chat. As a big fan of QAA for ages, having WAF bleed into Gem Pop was great. Also, because you were on I'm From the Internet, I've been listening to that for a while, and they have Robert Evans as a guest. Behind the Bastards is fantastic as well. My question would be, any plans on cross-pollinating with other shows? Any chance I'll open up You're Wrong About and find Kaye guesting? Or maybe Gary goes rustic and lives with Townsend?
You can't live with Townsend?
No.
You can't even visit that thing. Me and Liv for a vacation looked into it. I was like, oh man, we're going to go to like the Townsend village and do all the Townsend things. It's a YouTube channel and it has a store that's open like one day a week.
Yeah.
It's really not a place I can go live with, sadly. I love that Joe Pera got to like collaborate with him. Ideally, that would be real cool. But Townsend has a whole closet full of dudes who look just like me, like doughy children who he puts on sometimes when he doesn't want to make videos. They're not as charismatic. He doesn't need another Gary.
Yeah.
He's got Dough Fingers, the old timey cheesecake maker guy.
Dough Fingers.
That's how you can tell as the thumbnail. If it's got a thick hand, better keep scanning. If hand is thin, get in.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell with Townsend thumbnails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jake Rockatansky Elden Ring, what do you call those, round table, that was a little bit divisive. Some people like you were really happy, to get that. Other people were like, you could have had a Souls expert on this.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody with a little bit more kind of like subject matter expertise. I liked having him on, not just because I liked that show, but also I think just getting here is just somebody who is enthusiastic about this, and, thinks about media, in a different way. Like that also had value. See, also when we had like Stuart Wellington on the Dark Souls 3 season, Yeah. So, yeah.
I think so too. Like I like those episodes. I think there is maybe for some folk a fundamental disconnect in what they think the purpose of guest episodes are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay. Like you can have a different opinion or a different take on that. But for us, it is, first of all, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I talk about that a lot, but it is hard. People are nice. They'll do things when you ask them sometimes. The hard part of that is having a deep bench of Souls experts who you know about and have new things to talk about them with. All the time. Like if we only did Bonfireside Chat, that would maybe be a more reasonable expectation. But as is, like we do a whole network, Bonfireside Chat can only take up a part of it.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm always happy to guest on shit. If anybody wants me, you can have me.
Yeah.
It's not out yet. I am on an episode of Strange Studies of Strange Stories, which is the podcast that HP Podcraft turned into. It is a Patreon bonus episode, but I'm going to be on a mainline episode next year. Is the current plan. That went great.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy for you.
I'm really happy about it. It's like without going back in time to be on GFW radio, it's kind of the last, big guest spot I really wanted. And it went swimmingly. Like those dudes are super nice, pretty effortless chemistry and stuff. And I just, that was really meaningful and cool. Really like that. I'm really glad I'm going to keep doing it. Would be happy if I got, because they have, they don't ever really have a guest structure, but they have people every once in a while. Would love to keep doing that because I feel like I get on with those dudes.
Yeah, I'd be happy to guest on stuff as well. Like being on You're Wrong About would be cool if books could kill. Man, if I could be on like a Behind the Bastards about like Nolan Bushnell or something, that would be fucking
That's
amazing.
A fun idea.
Yeah. But like these people don't know about me. So like put in a good word, I guess. I don't know. Don't bother people on my account.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is like you want, you can't just be like, can I do it? You know, please? Like that's weird.
Yeah.
So it just kind of has to happen.
Yeah.
Kind of naturally, like, and there's also, not to like, it was real cool when we got to do Retronauts as well.
Yeah.
When that first happened, like we're buddies with those guys now, but it can't understate how cool that is.
Yeah. Still, I still think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very cool to be part of that extended family. So always happy to do stuff like that. But it is hard for us just to be like, please.
Yeah.
I think I told you this. One of the people who did some lawn work for me is friends with Robert Evans. I have not talked to them since because I had not had lawn work done. But I had that fleeting connection of like knowing somebody who knew Robert Evans and possibly being able to make that happen for you. And I chose not to do it. I watched Jane die.
You told me about meeting this person who is connected.
Yeah.
It's not like it was a secret.
It would have been a real non sequitur to be like, hey, I know this is a series of things, but can you introduce me to Robert Evans?
Yeah.
Then can I introduce Robert Evans to Kaye? It would feel obscene if I got to guest. I like Behind the Bastards too, but it would feel obscene if I got to do it and you didn't.
Yeah.
Like that's not right.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. That would be annoyed.
Yeah, and you should be, even if it wasn't my fault. I would still be like, man, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
like you're the biggest fan. Ryan says, hi, Kaye and Gary. Been wondering what accomplishment or thing you're most proud of having developed, not just a successful network, but this whole community around it. I've been meaning to write in for a long time about this, but on a personal note, listening to both of you and interacting with so many good and thoughtful people through the Slack over the years has been a key part of me becoming a better person with a more true and coherent ideology overall. Just wanted you to know that your indirect influence has had a direct and positive impact on who I am. So I just wanted to express my appreciation to you both and hope you are both proud of the community you've built. Cheers.
Thank you.
We didn't do it on purpose, but a lot of gassing us up.
Yeah.
In this episode. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, like just our proudest accomplishment, like community wide, I think about this. I'm not sure what the question is.
Yeah. I mean, the money part is always what I'm going to land on, like is concrete stuff. Like I feel happy about the community. I understand the good it's done. Sincerely, but I also am always just going to think about, concrete good, like actual material help for people.
Yeah.
Is the thing I'm most proud of.
Yeah. I'm proud that we made, God, this is like, it just ends up being self-serving, doesn't it? Because like, oh, it's really cool that our value was, let's make an inclusive space, because when it was time for me to come out, it was like, oh yeah, I know all of these cool trans people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
calling your shot.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's also when we talk about making an inclusive space, it's silly to think about that as like a decision, like we were choosing on a menu.
God, no. Yeah. Like,
it's just,
I don't want to be around dicks.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You have to try to make a non-inclusive space. It feels like in a lot of ways, or at least just tolerate a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of work to make an inclusive space. That's not me trying to gas us down. It's me angry at more places for not doing it.
Yeah.
Because you just don't let people be assholes to each other. Like, it's not a Herculean amount of effort to do, I don't think.
Yeah.
I always I never think that I am good. I want people to raise to my minimum.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Let's do lightning round.
Let's. What does Eric say?
Eric says, what would either of you consider your dump stat?
Brutal question. I would have said Constitution. Not because but then I was thinking about dump stat. Like I am not blessed with good health in a general sense, but dump stat implies I'm doing it on purpose. So the stat I do not care about is strength.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do not give a shit. If I can lift things, if I can move things, it doesn't come up in my life. I don't enjoy doing it. I'm cool rocking with like a 7 strength in D&D terms.
Yeah. Yeah. And like 8's all around is like a commoner, right? So
9's all around, I think.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. 9 is the, at least I'm going 2nd edition D&D. Fuck me. Like, but yeah, let's say 9s. 9s in 2nd edition D&D are the first number you don't get a penalty at. So straight 9s is a peasant in 2nd edition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say Constitution too. Like, I'm not doing that intentionally. It's just, I don't know. So yeah, like maybe Constitution or Strength. If I get into talking about like intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, it will feel like I'm either like bragging unfoundedly or sandbagging about something.
No, it's a horrible question. It's a Will Guppy move. Is asking like, what do you think your highest stat is?
Yeah,
of those, and it sucks. It sucks to be asked.
Yeah,
sucks to answer.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's for other people to answer. I don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think that Eric is doing this, but it is a violent thing to think of. You know. Is that me or you? Sorry.
Oh, that was me.
Dylan says, you both are now NPCs in Morrowind. Well, there's no question or anything. That sucks. We're now, they actually continue. What's your little secret and little advice? Little
secret and little advice. That is tough. I don't remember what kind of stuff they said as like a little secret, a little advice, right?
Same. Like my little advice, because of, if I'm thinking about myself as a Morrowind NPC, it would have to be something like regional.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say something like, don't go to Winco in the evenings. Because the lines are too long and they don't get enough checkers.
Oh yeah.
Would be my little advice. And then my little secret, little secrets I have.
Yeah. Well, where are you hiding, Butterfield?
Yeah, I don't know. What I'm hiding. I guess where I live.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't tell that to a Morrowind protagonist because they would go sneak around my house to level up.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. I'm already crouching in the corner to level up.
Yeah. Yeah, like my little advice is get over it and go to movies alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more full of big advice than little advice.
Yeah. I take big swings. And yeah, like little secret almost would end up being like, I don't know, like a restaurant recommendation or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you wouldn't think to check this out, but
Binmin has better banh mi's than Best Baguette.
Yeah. No. Joseph writes, I recently started Death Stranding. Unrelated. What's the worst AAA game you've ever played, and why does it have a sequel?
I love it when people do this. Confirm my priors, everyone.
I was just going to say, the worst AAA game, really?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure it's fun to play. You just don't get to name a character like Travel Connection Man. Don't get to do it. Disqualifying.
Okay.
Worst AAA game.
Worst AAA game with a sequel.
I don't play tons of AAA games.
Yeah.
I guess. And
that's
like
none
you
of my
get into
business.
yeah, kind of get into kind of definitions of that. And like the ones I play tend to be kind of niche or like sneak in. You know, like Elden Ring's undeniably a AAA game.
Yeah.
I wasn't driven to it because it was AAA. I driven to it because of its lineage.
And the definition of AAA just kind of like changes so much too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just Googled AAA games and like I'm seeing some stuff on here like Alien Isolation. Like, yeah, it has high production values, but that's not like that's a scrappy product.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm going to say Donkey Kong Country. Or no, Donkey Kong 64 rather.
Okay.
Donkey Kong Country wouldn't be it, but Donkey Kong 64, if that counts, the collectathon shitty Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Thing. I had to go into the past for this though, when I would just play a game because it was big. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And like worst, like it's wild to me that Dragon Age Inquisition didn't kill that series for good.
That's actually a really good answer.
Yeah.
The game fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like it sucks the stars from the sky. I don't like Mass Effect very much, but worst is hard.
Yeah, Borderlands. Yeah.
Borderlands sucks. Yeah. No, that one's up there too. Yeah, it's actually easier than I thought. There's a bunch. Kerr says, do either of you have any recommendations for non-Lovecraft Cthulhu Mythos books/short stories written after the man's death? I just read, finally, The Ballad of Black Tom.
Okay.
By Victor Lavelle. It is the famous, one of the first big famous Lovecraftian stories written by a black man. It's kind of a deconstruction. It is a different alternative take on the horror at Red Hook, written from the perspective of a black man who lives in Harlem at the time. It's basically a novella. It's like 160 pages, so very quick read. Liked it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Super, super worth your time. The basic premise of like the idea of an unknowable universe or an uncaring universe is only scary when you're not the subject of malice from the universe is really good.
Yeah.
Like it is some shitty white boy shit to think that the fact that the universe doesn't care about you is the scariest thing that could happen. Like that is exceedingly fragile and white.
Yeah.
And yep, 100%. Yeah, that is a fake problem.
That absolutely. Yeah. That's a very good point to make. I don't want it to go unsaid. The Neonomicon in Providence.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like if that can count, like if comics can count. Yeah, those are really good. I don't know, like check out my reading series that I do with the Halloween readings and stuff. There was a very good Thomas Ligotti poem that I did, The Prodigy of Dreams. And then that recent Shiva Open Your Eye. Who did that? Shiva Open Your Eye. That is by Laird Barron. Yeah. So check out the stuff they did for that.
What does Eli say?
Eli says, thoughts on the band Pavement. Just watched the Pavement documentary / biopic and thought it was interesting and okay.
I look like me, so of course I like Pavement.
Same.
Look like me, and I'm the age I am.
Yeah.
So I love Pavement.
Yeah. They're good. It's like an essential, like indie kind of, indie rock bands. Like I put them in kind of the same place as like the Replacements or something, like
they also, they pull off like Tossed Off better than a lot of bands do.
Yeah.
Like the temerity to sing like Stephen Malkmus, I feel like is something that when other bands do it, I find it obnoxious.
Why you got to sing like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Why you got to sing like that? Or like, why can't you take care about this a little bit more? I think they're the best band at being a little bit tossed off. Like, even though a lot of the songs are interesting and intricate and a lot of the lyrical turns of phrase are actually good, they have that kind of, 90s, like the smacks of effort. It doesn't smack of effort in a way that I think is actually pretty artful and cool.
Yeah.
Really want to see Pavements. I want to organize a band field trip for it because it looks cool as shit. Have you seen stuff about that documentary?
No, I haven't.
It's like a meta kind of biopic, but it also is doing a lot of weird shit. The trailer is worth watching. It is supposed to be a very unique kind of movie, like a Tristram Shandy kind of like anti-movie thing.
I was only made aware that this existed when this question came through. I like the Silver Jews too. Like that, like they were active, I think, more when I was like in, college. So like they hit at a time, like Pavement was just like a skosh before me when they broke up and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I found out about the Silver Jews and liked them, and then was like, oh yeah, Pavement. I've heard about this. Oh, these are the same guys. All right, cool. Yeah.
Very similar guys and very like interesting and kind of related postures.
Yes.
Like the Silver Jews being about poetry, like one of the very few musicians I think is actually legitimately like an excellent poet and good lyricist. And Pavement being a little bit more melodically focused.
Yeah.
Exotic Minivan says, quick question for each of you. Gary, have you read or listened to Adam Higginbotham's book about the Challenger disaster? No pressure if no, but it's great. Kaye, I've always wanted to play Silent Hill 2, and I happen to have the HD upscale on my Xbox 360, but I'm told it wasn't the same. Is it worth playing the 360 one, or is it a diminished experience? Thanks.
Play it however you're going to play it. Like, if you have a way to play it at an emulator, that's probably the way to do it. But like, yes, there are problems with that with that HD port. But if you're not going to play it any other way, then at least do that. Do that. Like the issues with that are performance, and then also like the fog is basically gone. It's like really diminished. So that does change it. I would say just play it on an emulator. And that HD collection, the bigger problem with that HD collection that nobody talks about is that Silent Hill 3 runs like dog shit on that. I found it to be unplayable because of frame rate, and that is not that is not a complaint that I normally make.
Every gamer should learn to emulate.
Yeah.
You can just play the game. Like you don't have to wait for a remake to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not read that book. I love disaster media. I love bleak ass shit. So I will add to the list. Somebody out there is going to be really happy about this. Me and Liv started watching The Terror.
Okay.
Somebody's been trying to get us to watch The Terror for, I don't know, like 4 years.
Yeah, something.
Now, they were right. It is my shit. It's super cool. I don't know if we'll ever cover it, but it is really good.
Yeah.
So, and this is after I fell off the book. I read about half the book and
that book is huge. That is so long.
I just got fatigued. Like it was, too many people with similar names. And it was harder for me to follow, jumped around a lot. Having the faces really helps me keep that straight.
Yeah.
So I love British character actors being very sad. And it's a great show for that.
And the last one here from Walt Shipman. No need to read this on mic if it's too much, but I just wanted to thank you for bringing Jeremy Greer into my ears and life. Radio Free Midworld was my first ever podcast, and I followed his work ever since and got to know him a little bit too. My sincere condolences. For Gary, having just finished your Days of Future Cast coverage of Ecstatics, thank you for getting me to read that. Did you read any of the recent sequel series, The Excellent? If so, thoughts? For Kaye, now that some time has passed, have you learned how to picture a three-dimensional clock? If so, thoughts? No, I still don't know how super clock works.
I will make you one.
Okay.
I did read The Excellent. I liked it a lot. It's not up to the Ecstatics standards, but I liked it. I thought it was funny. The orb, the gigantic floating eye that just yells eyewash and like shoots beams out of it and fucks everyone up is very fun. It's doing some meta stuff that I think is not totally successful, but again, I think it's a fun read. So yeah, I enjoyed The Excellent, and I love Mike Allred. My favorite comics artist. I always like looking at his stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
We have a quick topic.
Yeah.
We went a little long on questions. And it's just something I thought of that's come up in the Slack a couple times, but I wanted to run it by you.
Okay.
And talk about it, which is the idea of in video games, embodiment.
Yeah.
So like what I mean by that is, people talk about the controller disappearing, you feeling like your avatar. How important is that? What do games do to engender that? What genres does it work best for? Is it important to you at all? Yeah.
I mean, let's roll out it depends. Right. Generally, this is something that I used to value a lot, but I have really started to kind of see it as being something that is super genre or system dependent. And like this maybe is coming at it orthogonally, but I do think it actually like does make it is an example of it, which is should a town in an RPG be a space that you move through, or should it be a menu?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, is it important to have it does it feel better for your immersion or whatever quality to actually have a guy walking through the thing, even if it effectively is a menu?
Right.
The first town, Corneria in Final Fantasy 1 is a menu. Like it's got music and there's a visual to it, but it is a set of NPC dialogues and a set of shops. At the end of the day.
And like that was one of the biggest things I appreciated about Brave Fencer Musashi was the town was a menu, right? And I didn't have to like walk around and explore something that, to be frank, I had no faith in them making interesting to explore or, hide particular things. It was just super great to be able to select what I needed and get the function done. Similarly to Final Fantasy Tactics, right? They still had towns, and they managed to make that work by having it just be a couple of destinations, a couple of different functions, and then they had like different flavor and stuff in the music and in the, graphics and stuff.
Yeah. It's that's a good. I didn't think about that with this. Like I was thinking about it in terms of kind of a third person versus first person or close third person. Like when it comes up on the Slack, it comes up sometimes for people who cannot get into CRPGs because they're looking at their little guys. They have a sky view. They're looking at their little men. They're moving their little guys around. This is something that like, and then what I mean by that is they don't feel embodied by that.
Yeah.
Like they need to feel like they're in there. Like they need to feel like they're doing the thing.
Yeah.
As I have gotten older, I care about this a lot less than I used to, in part because games started feeling kind of the same to me. So thinking about something like a board game or like playing with toys from a third person ended up kind of being a plus for me.
Yeah.
I've never been the character in a thing. I don't really feel that nor want it.
Yeah.
And when I do feel it, the character is not a power fantasy to me. Like I feel it in like Thief, because that character is heavy and like you see his feet and he has to mantle onto things. He can jump better than I can jump, but not like Mario or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never felt it the way a lot of times people feel embodiment in a more character action game or something.
Yeah.
They feel like they are that thing. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about that. Like honestly, like if there is embodiment, it needs to be like stuff needs to be designed around it. It can't just be something that is done. Think about it this way, right? Like in an Uncharted or something where like your character has physicality and takes up room in the space. But like kind of one of the main ways that is kind of expressed to you is sometimes you need to squeeze through a tight space in order to hide a loading screen, Yeah. Like that technically counts as embodiment, but like that is not necessarily really what the game is about. Compared to, Death Stranding as an example that came up here. That is a game that is very much about
the worst
embodiment.
AAA game with a sequel?
Yeah. That one, the very same. No, but like that is a game about movement where like, changes in gradient and like the nature, like the quality of the surface itself, you really have to pay attention to that. Like you have to pay attention to the topography. You have to like plan things around. You have to balance your load that you're carrying, regardless of whether you are carrying it on your back or on a vehicle. Like all of that kind of matters. Like that is embodiment that is crunchy and, kind of needs to exist in order for that game to be to be interesting at all, I think.
It's the mechanical hook.
Yes.
Of that game. Yeah, for sure. There's also an element of embodiment that is, again, has not really come up and is a little bit orthogonal as well, but is important. A game with excellent embodiment that I think uses it well is Resident Evil 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You feel embodied by that character in part because of the perspective, in part because it really rubs your nose on the things that are happening to you as a thing. And it knows it. Like it's doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
As a thing. That is a game where it emphasizes it. I think for me, embodiment, and this could just be my predilections, like works for if bad things are happening to my character that could happen to me, does not work if my character is doing things I can't do.
Yeah. And
I can imagine losing my hand.
I can imagine somebody like chasing me or getting into my face, screaming, any of these adverse situations, right? I was eventually going to get around to horror, but like, I don't know, first person horror does work for me a little bit more than third person because like, it puts the environment and the threats at scale to you.
Yeah.
Like,
and does a lot of things for it limits your view.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a thing that we don't think about a lot when third person in video games is essentially a superpower. The idea of being able to see behind you is something we take for granted in video games that is impossible.
Yeah.
So I love it for horror as well. Like I think it's probably the genre in which it's most important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something that does put a little bit of distance between me and like RPG Maker horror games, right?
Yeah.
I've played ones that have had amazing stories, awesome writing, incredibly effective like death scenes and stuff. But like that top-down view does distance you in a way that, makes it a different kind of product, right?
I will even say it can change it in a way that doesn't like change the quality of the product, but does change that aspect of it. So like an example would be, I loved Crow Country. Loved it,
Yeah.
But it is, I did not feel very embodied by my avatar in that.
No.
And consequently, I don't find that game very scary. There are ideas that are scary, but you don't have a viscerality to it.
Yeah.
There's very little of like dread. That I was feeling in my actual limbs.
Yeah.
And that because of the perspective.
And like, embodiment in horror that kind of, doesn't work or is not additive, like is just there as kind of a golly gee whiz kind of thing, is like the inventory system in Alone in the Dark, the 2008, 2009 one, where it's like, to get into your inventory, you just like open up your jacket and look down in the pockets and stuff, like that could have just been a menu. But like as much as I have enjoyed that, because it is dorky, it also like it is just a gimmick. Yeah.
It's like Trespasser, Jurassic Park Trespasser stuff.
Yeah.
Looking down at your the heart tattoo on your boobs.
Yeah.
To tell your health. Like some of that stuff just feels clever. It doesn't do anything though. When you think about a change like that in game design, what is the goal of it?
Yeah.
People will say immersion. Generally is a thing, but that is not very immersive.
Yeah.
When you're already making so many concessions for unreality. Like the difference between opening up a menu and looking down your jacket is we're way past that.
Yeah.
I've already said yes to so many unrealities that this is a drop in the bucket. This can't do anything.
An example of good embodiment, I would say, and this is related to horror, but like there are other games that do it as well, when there is per body part damage that has different effects. So the horror example is Dark Corners of the Earth, but like Deus Ex does this really well.
Yeah.
The 3D Fallouts do this great.
You limp.
Yeah.
Your vision goes fuzzy, things like that. Like you actually feel the consequence. It's really interesting to see that specifically as an extension of a host of tabletop design things, that came early in D&D, but then also was a big boom of people trying to do locational damage as a way to try to immerse. Immersion and embodiment are very similar.
They're related.
Like concepts. Yeah, very, very related. But it's interesting because they're not exactly the same. Like you can be very immersed in a space. The space can feel very, very real, but you're not embodied.
Yeah.
I'm not there. That space I'm definitely seeing it though. That's just not me there.
Yeah. The world of Baldur's Gate 3 is immersive to me because so much is simulated to it.
Yes. Right? But my part in that is guiding my little guys.
Yes.
I am omniscient. And that nothing will happen to me when Karlach takes a big hit. I don't go, ooh,
yeah,
that's got to hurt.
I do because she's my girlfriend. But
yeah, I say, are you okay, sweetie?
Yeah,
I don't say, ooh, that's got to hurt because I'm not mean and because I want to go down on her.
Yeah.
Can't just leave
kind of hard
that.
Kind of hard. I just wanted to let you twist on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to think of how to get out of that though.
Yeah. Just like, talking about Sims and stuff, but just because of the question, like something that does take you a little bit, more into embodiment off of Baldur's Gate would be Pitman, right? You have to think about line of sight in that. You have to, conceive the Agent 47. It is important to conceive of his physicality in the space to do the stuff that you need to do in that.
Well, even just, and also sight lines, like, are you being seen? Where are you in relation to the world?
Yeah.
Matters as a thing. And that can add embodiment.
Yeah.
To something that is, I didn't want to sound like a cliche of myself, but I'm going to say it. It kind of plays into that character action thing is the flashiness will take me out of embodiment.
Yeah.
Something being really over the top will unembody me instantly. I, generally liked, but did not feel embodied by Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Because there were huge particles and I was doing hair flips and like witch wigs and frame jabs and shit. It was all just a bunch of moving around really fast. I don't understand how that can feel embodying to people, how they could feel that, but people do. Yeah. It's just a gamer type difference, like what you look for in embodiment. I think that is the goal of that. And the way that they're trying to increase embodiment is through responsiveness and control, and kind of freedom of movement, like having a lot of options. So they're trying to, bypass the intellectual part of your embodiment, and you're embodied because you're using reflexes. Without thinking.
To take it into a game that I love and unabashedly, Tony Hawk, kind of a similar space. Yeah.
And I do feel a little embodied by Tony Hawk. because even though it's not my type of game, somebody in the Slack, when we did Tony Hawk, we were wondering like why, I was wondering why this activates my score attack brain. And they basically nailed it. They said it's because it's expressive.
Yeah. We have a response that speaks to that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be the same person.
Maybe.
Yeah. So not a big topic or anything, just something to think about.
Yeah.
Like add this to your vocabulary when you're trying to describe games.
I feel like we talk about it enough that it warranted camping out on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into our responses.
Yeah. I'll get us started here with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 responses. Hayden says, "Hello there. Hearing you two talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 reminded me just how special these games are to me. I'm only 22, but was lucky enough to grow up with a dad that bought every game in the series as they came out. THPS 3 was the first game I ever played. My family has a photo of him passing me the PS2 controller. I love that. I still have that PS2, and I still play my copy of from time to time. Thank you both so much. You've made my week." I love that story. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. I didn't hear a lot of response to this episode, so it's nice to see so many responses here.
Yeah.
Naveen says, "Love the episode on Tony Hawk 3. The first 3 games are very near to my heart from way back, and I do love the 1 and 2 remake. However, a curious thing happened with 1 and 2 in that I realized I now suck at Tony Hawk. When I was a kid, it felt like I was doing million-point combos, and that was routine. Now I can barely clear the required point totals for the campaign. I check in every now and then, but no matter what tips videos I watch or how much I practice, my fingers cannot keep up with the button inputs and timing needed to keep the combo going. I'm looking forward to the 3 and 4 remake, but I'm nervous that the addition of the revert to the repertoire will result in me being even more overwhelmed by the combo system. It almost feels like I have the Tony Hawk yips. Has this ever happened to you when revisiting a beloved game?"
Shit, it happened to me with Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I had to kind of readjust.
Yeah.
Like it took a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had to do it, like, I even had to do it back when we did Tony Hawk 2, back in the day. Like, I ate a lot of shit before I, was able to put a combo together, just because I was so out of practice. It happened to me when Tony Hawk's, the 1 and 2 remake came out, and then, with this as well. Like, yes, as you get older, your reflexes do get worse. That is just a fact of how nerves work. But also, yeah, you're just out of practice, and you underestimate how much time you spent getting that good in the past.
It feels like time didn't mean anything then.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
I ended up having this as well when we did Crazy Taxi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A similar thing where I was real good at that as a kid and I had to relearn it.
Well, I lost all the special moves. Those used to just be in my muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that relearning them was fun, is why I liked that, why it was a good game.
Yeah. Digitrev says, while listening to Gary talk about why the Tony Hawk games and Guitar Hero are able to make him care about score and skill where other games typically fail, I came up with a theory. I think one of the key differentiators is that in these games, the score is much more integrated into the thing you're actually doing. Compare with action games like Bayonetta, where they want to judge you on how little you got hit or how varied your moveset is. In those games, my goal is kill enemies and advance the game, so the scoring is extraneous. Or consider arcade games, where outside of high-end play, score is more of a sign of progress than anything. But with Tony Hawk games, score tracks the cool stuff that you're doing and much more closely reflects your skill and progress within the game. The huge score you get after nailing a sick line just reinforces how sick that line really was.
Yeah. No, it is a self-sustaining sick.
Yeah.
It's Munchausen by primary. I think that's what this is. And I think it's also that I did it. Mm-hmm. There's a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
Over your combo. Like I made all those choices. Mm-hmm. I was improvising, a little bit along the way, but it wasn't a bar that was set for me by an encounter design. It was a playpen in which I got to make the choices that I wanted and got something cool to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Fucking love Tony Hawk. 3 and 4 is really good. I need to get it on the dock because I don't like how it plays on handheld.
It plays. I've been enjoying it in handheld, but I'm having a little bit better time with it on the dock, primarily just because the Pro controller on that is super good.
I haven't. It's difficult for me handheld.
Yeah,
like I'm not as good at it.
Yeah,
with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Precisely Jay says, so I grew up in San Diego, and especially because of Blink-182 came out of a town just north of here, both the music scene Tony Hawk games embraced and the skateboarding scene were very big with me and my friends. I personally sought out every skateboarding game I could. I played that Bob Burnquist game that was on X Games, as well as an Andy McDonald MTV game and that Dave Mirra BMX game. I remember that having an okay soundtrack. The one I liked almost as much as Tony Hawk was the Thrasher Skate and Destroy game. It was also run-based, but they were going for technical authenticity, so doing basic tricks were kind of hard, and it felt more like real skateboarding. EA's skate games are maybe more of a spiritual successor to that game in a lot of ways. Also, it introduced me to the song White Lines a few years before Shaun of the Dead, for which I am forever grateful. I got a chance to meet Tony Hawk in 2002. I called into a radio giveaway and won some tickets to his Boom Boom Huck Jam tour. Then I was selected from all the winners to get a grand prize of a signed by him PS2 and VIP tickets to the Huck Jam and a meet and greet after. I lost track of what happened to the PS2, but he was as nice as everyone says, and I got to see Devo play a halftime set. Fuck, man.
On top of, damn it.
Yeah, a skate park that was built in the middle of a music stadium. It was almost as surreal as seeing Tony on ads for old people medication now. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Yeah. Devo 2002, like, I think I saw Devo in 2008 is when I got to see Devo, but that was like, they're still good now.
Yeah.
Like they're playing. Yeah, they're playing in Portland this weekend. And I was like, is this worth $100? I've seen them before, but like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like a perfect day.
Yeah, you I think you stole somebody's Make-A-Wish, Jay.
Yeah. That is super sick. It makes me wish that there were brain dances. Like I would do the brain dance of that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just try and find that PS2.
Yeah. It makes me, at some point I've never played one, but I will just throw a skate on as a vanity pick if we can emulate them, if we can get them to play.
Yeah.
Cause I'm curious about that. The fact that I am so entrenched in arcade skateboarding, I don't know whether I'll be okay with it.
I don't know if
I want to get an honest shot.
Yeah, I would like to do that as well. There's the new skate one coming out, but that it looks like they're trying to take it in a more ridiculous direction. So I don't know if it's going to be, authentic. I also don't know if I value authenticity in skateboarding.
Yeah, same. Like I don't know. I understand what the value of that is, and I like technical proficiency, but again, it kind of runs into that expression versus like a bar that is set for you almost. Yeah. So.
Gaz writes, hopefully I'm not too late on this, but the episode was pretty perfectly timed as I just finished Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 in the new remaster pack and have been having a great time. It's very strange to me how the muscle memory never disappeared, and I can play these games as if there hadn't been a 20-year gap from them first releasing. I find it interesting that Gary mentioned always changing the button inputs for special moves to either up-down button or left-right button, as this is something that I always did on the original games and still do today in the new ones. Just a quick note on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. I remember being excited for this releasing, as I didn't enjoy the jackassification of the series after Tony Hawk's Underground 1, and loved the idea of a return to the roots, but played the demo and it was really bad. One of the best things about the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games is that the core gameplay was always rock solid, but they didn't manage to capture it at all with 5. The timing for button presses for certain actions were really wonky, and I remember failing most grind attempts because you had to be such a specific distance from the rail when you press the grind button. Too early, you bail. Too late, you bail. And it completely ruined the flow and inertia that made the original games what they are. With this in mind, I'm glad that they remade 1 and 2 and now 3 and 4, so I could introduce my kids to the series the same way that I was introduced to it as a kid back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a morbid curiosity about Tony Hawk 5. After we recorded the episode, I watched a bunch of YouTubes about it and just thinking like, it can't be that bad. And then I remembered Deus Ex The Fall.
Oh,
which is the iOS one that got ported to PC. And I remember thinking like, that can't be so bad. I'll play it. And then I tried and it is intolerable.
That's the frustrating thing about internet hyperbole is like sometimes
it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer. I'm still kind of curious about it. Like if I saw it in a used game store, I'd probably pick it up.
Yeah.
Just to futz around with it a little bit. But yeah, it's good to know.
That feels like one of those games that they destroyed copies of. Like,
Yes.
I never, ever see that. Like, it's like a two human situation.
But maybe downhill jam is good.
Carrie, you know it's not.
It might be. I like the downhill levels. Moving on to responses about Cyberpunk, Carrie says, Cyberpunk 2077's Night City is my favorite world in any video game ever. Phantom Liberty's Dogtown neighborhood is a decent addition, though as a segregated slum, it's mostly kind of empty. But the storyline that comes with it pairs very well with the main game. Idris Elba is transcendent as always. The final showdown at the end of the DLC was legitimately heartbreaking and helped to elevate what was already one of my favorite modern games.
Agreed.
Yeah, thanks.
Steven writes, I find Phantom Liberty hugely impressive. I tried Cyberpunk 2077 at launch and dropped off when both Judy and Panam's quests got to the waiting section and there were no quests, skills, or items that interested me. Phantom Liberty fixed that. Being able to upgrade iconic weapons made them worth finding and building around. The skill tree changes added a lot more skills that I cared about, and the expansion quests carried me through the time gates, and with enough momentum from the finale for 2 more playthroughs. Speaking of second runs, since I suspect you both correctly chose So Me over Reed, I want to call out the awesome sequence on Reed's path that goes from the combat peak of the game to a stealth/horror gauntlet to So Me's reflection on how she got here and what it cost her. Well worth the second playthrough to see it.
I did, and I didn't like it. Happy to agree to disagree. There's certainly something, like in looking at the Slack after we covered this, there's certainly a gamotype thing with this game that I'm missing, because people have been like, oh, no, this is actually really fun in the hands. It's a great skill tree. It's really empowering. This is one of the best feeling games in the hands that there is.
Yeah.
And it never felt like anything more than a mediocre shooter to me, in part because I played as a hacker. Is my understanding. Like if I had done the slowing down time, wired reflexes stuff, maybe it'd be cooler as is, but there's just, I don't see it. Cyberpunk 2077 didn't get there for me. Yeah.
That's fine. Like a mediocre shooter is fine.
I enjoyed my time with it, and there's definitely things to recommend it, but it's, I said this in the episode, it's always going to feel like one of the most almost there games of all time.
Yeah.
It's not there though. I do not want to replay it. Personally.
Yeah.
Riley says, the coolest moment of reactivity I got in Phantom Liberty was after siding with Reed at the first big decision point. Somi was captured by MaxTac, and I got a quest to break her out of custody. I was told I need to hire a netrunner for the job and that I could contact Mr. Hands to find one. However, in the base game, I did a side quest in which I saved one of Rogue's friends, a netrunner named Nyx. At the end of the quest, he said he owed me one, so I decided to call him to see if I could call in that favor, and lo and behold, he answered. I was delighted that the game not only considered this a possibility, but was able to do it without the game explicitly telling me to, and that he performed above and beyond what any other runner I could have hired. It's just one of the things that makes Phantom Liberty feel like a phenomenally integrated expansion.
Oh, wow. So like just going into the phone interface and calling a guy.
So for me, I forgot to mention this when I did this, because I did the same thing. It wasn't with Nyx. I think I called it might have been the netrunner with Pan Am's crew.
Okay.
It wasn't just a thing where I just went into the menu, though. I had a list of people I could pull up on a dialogue menu, is the way I remember it. Maybe Nyx is not on that list, and you can go into Nyx and stuff. And this was cool and would have impressed me a little bit more if I hadn't spent so much time between doing the main game and the expansion.
Right.
Where I'd forgotten who I had done quest for. Yeah. Basically.
Like, I think that's necessary for an expansion like this, for it not to feel like you're going to a Morrowind island,
yes.
To have these talk. I was impressed, with the way that that one quest changed depending on you handled Maman Brigitte.
Yes. Yeah. The ending changing depending on whether you've installed Son of Delmain, things like that. Like, that is cool.
Yeah. Feels necessary for the trick. Yeah. Moving on to Talos Principle responses, Kian says, the Talos Principle sucks. Even when you remove all the unnecessary philosophy and the time spent traveling between puzzles, the puzzles themselves demand a higher level of precision than I think is warranted, and it can be very frustrating when you know the solution, but it takes a lot of hassle to execute.
Yeah, I don't think it sucks, but those are things I think are annoying too.
Yeah.
Like the pixel hunting, trying to find the exact angle of a laser beam is fiddly and does not feel like a puzzle to me. It feels adjacent to puzzling.
Yeah.
feels like a new thing.
Walking around holding this tripod, waiting for all the icons to turn white,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowing what you have to do and just having to find the exact right space, it's akin to pixel hunting. I agree.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think the game sucks. I think it's a low B. Steven writes in, I rank the base experience of Talos Principle somewhere between Portal and The Witness. While it has some humor, it doesn't hit the heights of Portal that Portal achieves. On the other hand, it manages to engage fairly well with philosophy without becoming pretentious like The Witness. What elevates it for me are the star puzzles. Using tools across multiple chambers to solve a puzzle isn't a wildly novel idea, but in the context of this kind of game, it was still a surprise and a joy to discover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. It's definitely, in Portal, it's interesting that continuum, right? Because The Witness has the playing with the box big twist. Like you realize that the world is the puzzle.
Yeah.
And Portal has that, but it's purely scripted. You don't realize it. It's just part of the story. This is kind of somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's not part of the main game. You can do it. It's presented as an optional challenge thing.
And I exist in this weird space where I never once felt called to do it. But when I saw that it was possible, I was like, oh yeah, that's neat. Somebody could really have fun with this. And then I just went back to the critical path. Yeah.
Is where I end up on a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Andrew writes, for the first third of the game, the Talos Principle felt like a Stanley Parable section making fun of philosophical games. Solve a puzzle, get a Wikipedia summary of the myth of the cave. Be asked if a turtle is a person, be incapable of explaining that you believe personhood is a spectrum, not a binary, so the robot gets to clown on your oversimplified response.
Yep.
I imagine it might hit harder for people who haven't yet engaged with these ideas yet, but I grew up religious Jewish. You start wondering about the validity of God's commands early, when you have to turn your Game Boy off for 25 hours every Friday night and can't eat the pepperoni pizza at camp. Maybe you're supposed to be playing the role of a robot, only thinking about this stuff for the first time, but I didn't really care about that guy until he started having buddies to toss him stuff and hit switches. Or maybe that's the ultimate message, that we gain meaning through the connections we make. Or maybe the true message is, don't even try the star puzzles. Every time I saw a laser receiver of a color not in the puzzle room, I did the Garfield, I wonder who that's for meme.
If they make a game, I think that they have not been brave enough yet to make a game about connections. Gaining meaning through connections. That's not the kind of thing. I think that we will get that slightly before we get an adaptation of Journey to the West. But not in our lifetime.
Yeah, it's kind of the third rail of storytelling.
Yeah. It's just never going to happen.
I'm just waiting for somebody brave enough to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too brave. Too brave. The idea that maybe some of these ideas hit harder if you didn't think about them a lot already, I think is true.
Yeah.
And the idea that I could not, kind of going into embodiment almost, the idea that I could not view this from a robot perspective, I had to view it from Gary's perspective, did make it, distanced me from it a lot.
Yeah.
I could not role play as the character in the Talos Principle very well.
No, I also had no idea who I was supposed to be in this. There's nothing that communicates that you were supposed to be, a baby that has woken up with no context for anything. Like the fact that you want admin access and, there is a desire expressed to prove that you are a person does imply that you are supposed to think that, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's also, but you're not really, you don't want the thing because it's one of the limited things on a menu.
Yeah.
That beeps on you until you click on it, right? It's engineering the path for you to want it. It's not really a want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to get into there. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Ben says, hey there. When I heard you were covering the Talos Principle, I knew I'd have to write in. This game is deeply important to me in my own life journey. I remember firing it up in 2016 as a 21-year-old Mormon who had recently gotten back from his mission in England. At the time, I was starting to question the cult I was raised in, but I had not fully left it yet as I had invested my whole life into it at that point and felt scared to leave it behind. When Mormons become adults, they're told God's real name is Elohim, but that's a big secret. So after being shocked and saying, holy shit, how does Crow Team know God's real name? I put a little extra effort into trying to read the files and uncover the secrets the game held to see if I could find other religious themes. What I ultimately found in this game was that it had a good rhythm of alternating between reading some interesting philosophical ideas and then having quiet time to work on puzzles while contemplating those ideas. as well as my own relationship with my belief system and self-identity. I needed this rhythm at the time, as this was the only time I didn't feel anxious reflecting on the fact that my whole belief system was crumbling around me. I'm now happily out of this organization and raising a great kid without the oppressive beliefs I had at her age. While there were many things that led to the changes in my self-identity, I will always be thankful for the Talos Principle for giving me a little time to meditate on things that I had previously been ignoring or distracting myself from. On a replay this month, I still adore this game, but I got a completely different message out of it. Truly, no person ever steps in the same river twice.
Yeah, Talos Principle cracked your egg, dog.
Yeah. Yep. The trans person holding the butterfly meme. Is this an egg?
No, but like just
Yeah.
the thing that precipitates a change in self-identity, right?
Yeah.
Just that I love the story, and also like it is the kind of the flip side of Andrew's response, right? Like it's always somebody's first time encountering some of this stuff, right? Or thinking about it deeply. Yeah.
For sure. It's also a thing too that I didn't think about. Both those responses was that one of the reasons why this kept me emotionally distant is because I don't have a religious background.
Yeah.
There's assumptions in play in this that I've never bought into.
Yeah.
So if I had come at this as a lapsed religious person, I might feel differently.
Yeah, it's the Exorcist problem, right? Like I'm coming into this without a lot of religious trauma, right?
Yeah. The devil ain't scary.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Finally, here we have Owen, who says, the Talos Principle is my favorite game of all time, sharing a spot with Disco Elysium. It's not a game I even really think about in terms of mechanics, just the tone, the themes, the music, and the writing. The logs from Drennan and the conversations with Milton were, at the time, some of the most meaningful I'd ever experienced in a video game. I know it was partly because I was in my early 20s, and it was my first exposure to some of those topics on such an intimate level, but the game genuinely changed me philosophically. I think about mortality daily because of this game.
Oh,
it just makes me think of the Onion thing. Like, we taught an ape about mortality.
Yeah.
Got anxiety. Yeah.
It also makes me think of the Onion thing about, Bulbasaur's got a gun, which makes me think as a gamer about mortality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen continues. What makes the game different from others is it's considered optimism. It's not quite hope core. It presents both pessimistic and optimistic interpretations of ideas, yet generally makes a stronger case for optimism. The game changed me on a core level, which isn't something you can really expect when you recommend a game. I just happen to be at the right point in my life for it to really resonate. The sequel is incredible too, though it's a bit longer and a bit more hope core. The soundtrack and visuals are stunning, and I find the puzzles to be better than the first game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the second one. I think if this were my shit, I would be, like, if I was this kind of gamer, I'd be champing at the bit.
Like, I kind of want to learn what the new tools are, but I don't know if that is something that I want to, like, play and just get exposed to the tools or just, like, read on a wiki. I'm going to wait a few months before I decide, actually.
Yeah, well, I also don't want to screw myself out of it because, like, right now, I don't want to play anything like the Talos Principle, but I might in like 3 years.
This is the point where you are least likely to want to play a game like this right now.
Yes. So maybe that'll come around, right? So I haven't spoiled it on myself, but I'm glad that it's there. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm ever like really in the mood for it. Mm-hmm. Thanks everybody for writing in.
Thank you. Yeah. If you have thoughts about next month's games, which are Metroid Zero Mission, Split Fiction, or Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, the deadline is August the 15th. Go to duckfeed.tv/contact and write in. If you have thoughts about multiple games, please send multiple responses. And now it's time to talk about the games we're going to be covering in September.
Real quick before we do that, little emulator pro tip for people playing Mercenaries.
Okay.
The error that I ran into is that I get audio skipping in the FMV cutscenes. Mm-hmm. There are 3. Okay. You can just watch them on YouTube. So it runs perfect out of the box for me. With that audio skipping, I just watch the cutscene on YouTube. It's fine. So don't feel like it's a very cutscene heavy game. I ended up looking it up and there's only 3.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, yeah, I ran it and I didn't even run into those issues.
Nice.
So I don't know if it's configuration or a hardware thing. But
which character did you choose?
The Hong Kong, the British lady.
The lady. Yeah. The third guy, the Swedish guy, is fucking ludicrous.
Yeah.
He's very funny. Like not trying to encourage you to pick him, but he's very over the top and stupid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. September is going to be a real K-heavy month. All this stuff is kind of my shit in different ways. The first episode is going to be a guest episode. We're going to be talking about The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and I'm going to be talking about that with Bob Mackey from Retronauts.
Yeah. Yeah, I generally am in favor of what a lot of things Majora's Mask do. I don't like the play of those games. Nobody needs to hear me say that again, so I decided to bow out of that one.
Yeah.
I can read about it and get the cool ideas. I don't want to play it.
So that's going to be a fun time.
Next up, we are doing the Outer Wilds expansion, Echoes of the Eye. So doing the DLC for that. It's been a while since we've done the Outer Wilds. Looking forward to checking that out. I want to see where they take that story.
Yeah.
Because it did feel very complete to me.
Same. Yeah. Very curious about that. I need to refresh myself on like the actual stuff that happens in Outer Wilds because I remember big takeaways, but not particular things.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of like kind of the middle and the end.
Yeah. So the premium episode for September is going to be Against the Storm. We're going to include the expansion content in that because that is like different challenges and different units and stuff. But yeah, this is a city builder that kind of has a roguelike structure. Instead of building one big to tackle a campaign, you're building a bunch of small ones with different conditions, criteria.
Yeah, I have not played it. I'm really excited. It's something that's been on my list for a long time.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Mercenaries and Against the Storm are the premium episodes. Everybody gets kind of the generalities, like the first portion of that. And then the full episode goes to our patrons.
Yeah. If you'd like to join them, you do so by going to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. $5 a month gives you those bonus episodes as well as our first tier of bonus shows, which are the back episodes of Exquisite Suffering and Unfilmable, our show about horror media that we think is great.
Yep.
At $10, you get 2 other shows. You get Quackstack, which is a fun monthly goof 'em up for experts only. And then Adaptation to Kaye, which is where we look at how games and video games have been adapted into other media. Also a show we think is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we like all the stuff we do.
We do.
We're not
Otherwise
just putting
we
the good
wouldn't
stuff
do it.
behind the Patreon, but like those are a treat.
Yeah.
You know, in part because we don't do them that often. So we get to exercise different muscles and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go check that out. It makes a big difference for us. You know, this is how we heat our houses.
Yep. Yep. It's how I kill trees of heaven before they destroy my foundation. So yeah, we appreciate it. If you are able to do that, or if you can't, please leave us ratings and reviews anywhere you can find podcast ratings and reviews. And please tell your friends. We don't advertise. It helps us a lot when you tell people about episodes. You know, be like, hey, I know you like this game. Do you want to hear this 2-hour long podcast about it?
Yeah.
Yep. It's awesome when people do that.
Yes. So please do it. Also, please join us in thanking our producer, Gwen. Thank you, Gwen.
Yeah. Big thanks to Gwen. Yeah. And we will see you next week with Metroid Zero mission.
A delightful snack of a game.
Absolute snack, like the snackiest snack.